everyone, it's Imara from imaraifawuyi.com, Liberated Living. Today I want to talk about Yoni Steams. I haven't done a good video about Yoni Steams yet, and it's a practice I love. I first learned about Yoni Steams living in Tulum, Mexico, which is a Mayan region of Mexico, and it's something that women have done for a long time there, just to help to keep things flowing, flush and purge and cleanse the womb and the yoni, the vaginal region, and just for hygiene and postpartum purposes. So, basically I've heard about Yoni Steaming being practiced in Korea. So there are Korean communities in LA that I knew about that had this practice, what they call, I think, chayok. Also, it's practiced in Guyana. I've heard about it being practiced in parts of East Africa. So it's just something that I consider to be ancestral and indigenous healing. It's from our mother's toolkit. It's something that our ancestors knew about and have utilized. So basically today I'm going to show you how to go through it. I don't want to take up too much time with it, but it's a simple process. So don't get hamstrung, ladies, on the setup or whether or not you have a seat or not. Just find a way to make it happen on a regular basis. So, first of all, we're going to start with how much herbs do we need. So basically, a lot of times I live in the Caribbean, so I'm able to just go out back and grab me what we call bush and get that bush and put it in the pot and simmer it. Right now I'm in Georgia, so I have dried herbs. Some of them I dried from when I was growing them in the Caribbean and used here. But I'll tell you briefly what herbs we utilize. The homegrown ones that I grew, there's tulsi and oregano in here. So I dried those out. As well, I have organic rose petals, lavender, red clover, lemon balm, chamomile. Okay, and basically the way you choose your herbs is just based upon what herbs resonate with you, as well as, and there's mullein, as what herbs may have be known for treating a certain condition. For instance, the mullein is known for moisturizing. It's known for making things softer and more supple, more moisturized. You use mullein in a condition of the lungs a lot of times. So we have that in here because that's the kind of, desired response we want to have. We want softening of the tissues. We want release through the tissues. So basically what happens is when you are working with the herbs and the plant allies, you will go ahead and put them on the stove. I would take about 1.5 cups of the herbs. You can measure that. It's not, nothing like this much. It's about that much. Put that in about, half a gallon to 3/4 gallons of water and just simmer them for about 15 minutes. So in terms of amounts, you want to use about 1.5 cups of your plant allies, of your herbs, okay? You can use dry, you can use fresh. And if you're using fresh, you would use a lot more herbs. So I would say about maybe a little bit more than what you could get in your hands. So again, you can measure 1.5 cups. You put that in about 3/4 gallons of water. Let that simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. And then let it cool down. Move it off of the heat and just let it cool down for a good 10 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes. You can test it on your inner arm, which is a sensitive place on the body. And if it feels good, you're ready to go. So basically, how often do we do Yoni Steams? You can do them weekly. You can do them bi-monthly. You can also do them right before the menses and right after the menses for a good kind of kickstart and then a cleanse after the fact. Also, women who are actively dealing with situations such as cyst growths and things like that, they may want to have a practice that is more like twice a week, so maybe once every 4 days or so. So you have a lot of options around when and how. But the main thing is that you make it a regularity, a regular practice in your life. Contraindications for doing the Yoni Steams. It's not something you'd want to do while you're actively menstruating. Okay, so that's a practice that you leave alone during that time. And you wouldn't want to do it if you had like an active candida infection or some kind of infection in the yoni, in the vagina, or anything like that, because we don't want to introduce any more heat and moisture to the area at that time. Okay, so basically, the basics of it, and it's pretty simple. You've already got your simmered herbs on the stove. You're going to take them, you let them cool, and you'll go ahead and just take them either to underneath a wired seat like this, set them up on something, and then cover yourself in a couple of blankets. So that's one option. You don't have to get concerned about how to do it, because you can do it. Okay, so another option for you, if you don't have a porous chair like that, is you can just literally come and just sit over the bowl. A lot of people don't realize this is like a great way to do your yoni steaming. You take 2 blankets, cover yourself up, and make a seal so that your steam isn't released. And you can just sit over the pot. And anybody can do this for 15 minutes, right? So we just sit over that, let that steam go up into the pelvis, and carry the active constituents of those herbs into your womb, into your pelvis. Again, this is ancestral knowledge. Women knew that this was a way that they could be released from stagnation of the womb. So basically that can result in different issues like PCOS, challenges with your menses, infertility, and all these things. And with the regular practice of the yoni steaming, you can see some of those things be relieved. So, even women who have had issues with depression and different hormonal imbalances and things like that have found a lot of relief from a regular yoni steaming practice. After you finish the steam, it's a good time to just lay. You can lay on the mat that you were on, maybe put your feet up over your heart, and just relax. Take in all of that energy, let go of whatever came up during that time. During the yoni steam, you have that opportunity to go into a meditation. You might want to do some automatic writing. You can even use different tools like crystals and stones and charge those up in the moon and include those in the water. You can do a whole lot of different things to just really amplify the experience and amplify the release that will come from it, okay? So it's a really awesome practice. I suggest it to all women on a regular basis. It's really purifying, very hygienic, and it just makes you feel good. So after you've rested for about 45 minutes, you go ahead and get up. You can take your herbs and your water and just take them back to the earth. Go and give thanks to the earth for supplying you with the herbal allies, the plant allies, and the tools to heal yourself, basically. So we take those herbs and we just compost them back in the earth. And that is it. I wanted to also just mention this is our first in a series of Our Mother's Toolkit videos. So again, talking about ancestral wellness and the ways that the women before us healed themselves. The next thing we're going to be talking about, our next video, will be discussing yoni eggs. Yay! And here are my beautiful yoni eggs, and I can't wait to talk to you all about that practice, because that is a practice that is very healing and can increase your creativity and increase your own just connection with your womb center and your ability to create from there. So, thank you so much for watching. Peace.